NotebookLM is your personalized AI research assistant that'll create content and a study plan for you. It'll guide you to learn anything. We'll look at how you can take the material and learn on the go without looking at your screen. First, navigate to notebooklm.google.com and it'll bring you to a screen that looks similar to this. This is your home screen where you can see all the notebooks that you've created. First, you'll want to click on this Create New button, and it'll ask you to upload your data sources. You can upload strategy documents, marketing plans, course reading, research notes, meeting transcripts, and other documents in various formats. That includes PDFs, text files, Markdown, MP3 files, files from your Google Drive, links to websites, YouTube videos, as well as text that you've copied. The free version of NotebookLM allows you to upload 50 sources. But to give you an idea of its capabilities, there's a social media post out there of a user uploading a PDF document of over 1,800 pages. We'll upload our own PDF here, and in the left column under sources, you can see that it starts processing the data source. You can add another source by clicking on Add Source under the Sources section in the left. For any of these features, any notes you wanted to create, you can ask NotebookLM to focus on specific sources by deselecting or selecting the sources that you want to include. With the sources that you upload, you can click on any specific source and it'll open up a summary as a source guide, but you can also click on any of the key topics and NotebookLM will extract the content from the source into this middle chat section. And you can see there are a bunch of annotations here, and when you hover over any one of them, it'll provide the actual content from the source. You can actually click on the annotations and it'll bring you to the exact location in your source so you can verify the content that it pulls into the chat. You can save the note and it'll bring it into the note section on the right here. We're just going to delete it, but you can also copy it and you can refresh the chat section, which will just clear the chat history. If we go back to our source, you can see that it provides all the content from that source. You can collapse the source by clicking on this icon in the top right of that section. In the middle chat section here, it provides a summary of the source that you uploaded. You can also save this as a note, copy it. You can add your own note, which will open up this area on the right and add content here. You can format the content with any of these icons here. The audio overview is one of the best features of NotebookLM. If you click on this audio overview, you can see under Studio, it starts generating the content. And depending on how many sources you add to NotebookLM, this might take a while. Before we clicked on Audio Overview in the chat section, you may have noticed in the Studio section, there's a Customize button for the Audio Overview. So instead of giving NotebookLM the reins to generate an audio overview, you can give it a prompt, ask it to focus on specific sources, specific topics, or target a specific audience. If we take a look at the summary or the key topics for the source that we uploaded, we can ask it to focus on AI-driven decision-making, user research, and validation. If you already have an existing audio overview or are in the process of generating one, you can still customize the audio overview in the same notebook, but you'll have to delete the audio overview that you already have. Otherwise, you have to create a new notebook. But if you want to keep the original audio overview, you'll have to download it. Maybe they'll add a feature in the future to save audio overviews. If you want to see more about customizing the audio overview for NotebookLM, take a look at the video linked on the screen or in the description. So we'll go on to the briefing document. It'll also create a note. On the right, you can click on it and it gives the whole briefing document as an overview of our data source. Going back to the chat area in the middle, you can chat with NotebookLM and it'll provide you with responses. It even provides some suggested questions, so we can click on any of these suggestions down here, like what are the key roles of AI in modern product development processes? And it'll create a response using the sources that you uploaded. You can ask NotebookLM your own questions. For example, in the summary here, we see mention of major companies like Amazon and Google. So we might ask, what are some examples from specific companies? And NotebookLM will provide a response based on the sources that you upload. It pulls over a dozen examples from specific companies in our source. If you want to save the content in your chat, make sure you click on Save to Note, and it'll create a note in that section on the right. But since it gives the note the same name as the other one, we'll click on the note and rename them. So we'll rename this one to Briefing Document. We'll minimize this one and we'll rename the other one to AI Product Management Examples from Specific Companies. Now that the audio overview has been generated, let's give it a listen.
Welcome back everyone to the deep dive. This time we're going to...
They're using their Watson AI to analyze tons of data like past sales and customer feedback.
So they can figure out what's going to be hot before it's...
So that sounds awesome. If you want to share this audio overview, click on this share icon and you can create a link that anyone can access. If you click on the three dots, you can change the playback speed so you can consume more content in less time.
Or it's hot.
You got it. It allows them to shift their product development strategy before the market even changes.
Talk about staying ahead of the curve.
You can also download the content and transfer it to another device and take it with you to listen on the go. Another great feature is the interactive mode, where you can join the conversation and interact with the two speakers. In the studio section on the right under audio overview, when you click on interactive mode, it enlarges the audio overview section, and here you can press play and join the conversation at any moment.
Welcome back everyone to the deep dive. This time we're going exploring a world where AI is totally changing the game project management.
Yeah, it's like, we always hear about AI and how it's going to change. Oh, wait, someone wants to join. Hey, go for it.
What are some examples of how Adobe is leveraging AI in product management?
Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, it's a really insightful one, actually.
So the article we've been referencing actually mentions how Adobe uses AI to simulate how different software features would work even before they fully develop them.
What's fascinating here is they use AI to predict performance at different usage levels.
It's kind of like they're stress testing their features in a virtual world.
Exactly. This allows them to prioritize development on the features that are going to have the biggest impact.
So they're not just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Nope. It's a really smart and efficient way to make sure they are putting out only the best products.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, right?
Absolutely. And we're going to talk more about other companies doing this too, like Tesla later on, so keep listening.
Okay, let's get back to the flow here.
Sounds good. Where were we?
So you can pause it and just keep in mind when you minimize the section and then open up interactive mode again, it picks up where it left off. Unless you click on this reload button or start over button, you can verify what the audio overview responds with by using the find function, Control F. As you're listening to the audio overview, you can ask NotebookLM any questions that pop up in your head. But we're going to minimize the interactive mode and then continue looking at the notes section. In the notes section, if you click on the three dots, you can convert all of your notes to sources and add them to NotebookLM so that the AI can consider those in its responses. You can click on Study Guide, and this will create something you can review to help you learn material. This includes a short answer quiz, the answer key to that quiz, essay questions, as well as a glossary of terms. We'll go on to the other features. We've already looked at the briefing doc. You can create a FAQ for frequently asked questions, which will also provide you the answer to those. You can change the title of these notes by clicking on the title at the top here. We'll add FAQ, colon, and then minimize this. So now we can distinguish the contents of these notes from other notes. You can create a timeline, but this is only useful if you're looking at historical events and your material has dates and times. To show you what this looks like, for the sake of example, we'll go add another source. We'll choose website, paste in this link for Salesforce. So it's not directly related, but there are some AI components in here. And we'll deselect the PDF and choose timeline. When you take a look at the original source, each year has at least 3 to 4 bullet points. Most have at least 5 to 6. If we go back to our NotebookLM and click on the timeline note, we'll see that it gives us highlights for each year. It also provides a list of key players in the timeline. If you found this useful, like the video and leave a comment. If you want more content on AI, workflow automation, and analytics, subscribe to the channel.